I did in Game Week 22. Alright everyone, what is going on? BusterBarnes here, bringing you my recap / review of Chelsea's 1-0 win away against Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League. The true test, a difficult fixture that Tuchel has come on top of over Jose Mourinho. A very dominant display, maybe with our shooting boots on, could have been even more. But I will be getting into all the key moments of the game, as well as giving you guys my player ratings and player of the season point scoring system as well. So if you enjoy, leave a like, comment your ratings down below, and as always subscribe for more Chelsea FC content. But guys, I mean, what a win. I said this was going to be a big test for the team to see really how we are doing with Thomas Tuchel as manager, and what a great dominant display this was. Maybe a bit frustrating that we didn't score more, and we do have to get over maybe the problem of our decision making / finishing in the box, but I'm sure hopefully with time that will definitely come through. So yeah, just really the most important thing was picking up the 3 points, and the team that did so was actually set up in a 3-4-1-2 sort of formation. I thought we'd maybe see the 3-4-3 again. I mean, at points it probably was that, but we did see the classic backline of Mendy, Rudiger, Silva and Azpilicueta. We saw Alonso on the left wing back, but we actually saw Reece James make his first start under Tuchel at right wing back as well. Maybe a bit more of a defensive choice against maybe a tough team like Tottenham. We saw the midfield of Jorginho, Kovacic, and I guess Mason Mount playing that more forward role, with either side of him being Werner and Hudson-Odoi. So Hudson-Odoi being moved up a bit forward, and I mean his defensive work didn't stop there though. He was absolutely brilliant in both attacking and defensive phases before he did come off. We saw appearances from Christensen, which I'll get into when talking about the first half, from Pulisic and from Kante as well, making his first appearance under Thomas Tuchel. But guys, pretty much as the game started, we showed our dominance right from the beginning, passing it all around Tottenham, definitely using the width as well, and they just couldn't do anything. Whenever they got the ball, there was no one really to pass to. I mean, I guess you could say this game was a great display of how great we were, but also maybe how poor Tottenham were. It's weird to find the balance, isn't it, between a team being really good and another team being very bad. Don't think Mourinho's plan was right. Tottenham did get a bit better in the second half, but first half it was all us, and we did eventually get the goal. It was a penalty won by Timo Werner. Him and Dyer were battling for the ball. Dyer went to clear it, but Timo Werner quite cleverly actually got his foot in the way, took the kick, and it was definitely a penalty for me. He didn't actually take it though. It does look like the hierarchy of Tuchel still has Jorginho at the top, and he buried that penalty in the bottom left corner. Notice how I said buried. He didn't do his classic hop, skip and the jump, and he actually just whacked it in the bottom left corner. And I don't know about you guys, but I sort of jumped a bit, like a little bit not scared, but like I did not expect him to just whack it in the corner. And Lloris went the right way, but luckily it did go in. But the first half it was all us. Don't know if Tottenham even had a chance. Could have maybe scored more. I think our play up to the penalty box was great. Reece James and Hudson-Odoi linking up very well. Kovacic and Jorginho doing absolutely amazing work defensively and going forward, I thought. We were winning our aerials. Thiago Silva, before he had to come off due to an injury, I think he might have pulled a muscle, was absolutely key, I thought, in our defence. And he came off for Christensen. And I think a lot of Chelsea fans were a little bit nervous when that happened. You know, whether you rate Christensen or not, you guys know I'm not his biggest fan. Obviously, Thiago Silva is our best centre-back. And, you know, that was going to be a big hit for us. Or was it? Apparently not, because the scoreline did stay the same for the rest of the game. But I think everyone did that job. Even Alonso was actually doing some defensive work. And obviously, I don't want to speak too soon. I'd like to see a few more weeks of Alonso playing to see how his energy levels are. But obviously, with Tuchel just coming in that manager bounce, we are seeing a lot more energy from some players who maybe were getting a bit lethargic and a little bit lazy. In the dying embers of Lampard's run as manager. But even Werner, I thought, was on it, and we know that he likes to show up against Tottenham. All of us were hoping for a goal. He didn't get that, but he did contribute to one, so fair play from him. But things were being ran by the midfield. I thought all midfielders were good, including Mason Mount, finding space, pretty much never really had to play it on him, did some cool nutmegs as well, and just with a bit better finishing, a little bit more of the shooting boots on. I think him, Hudson-Odoi, Werner all could have had goals, but we all know that maybe confidence in terms of shooting isn't quite there for the team, but it is nice to see that we do have some confidence when it is in the defensive phase, so at least if we do score a goal or two, we can maybe be a bit bit more confident that we will not concede. But that was the first half, guys. Got the goal, and it looked all good, but we would have probably rather have scored the second, and we were all a bit nervy going into that latter half. Tottenham definitely came up the blocks a bit better, pressing us, showing a bit more energy, and players like Lucas Moura came on to add a bit more pace and energy going forward. They still didn't really have any clear-cut chances until one in about the last 10 minutes where Vinicius basically missed a free header, basically. I mean, if he gets on target, that is an issue for Mendy. Luckily, he hits that wide. That was pretty much Tottenham's only good chance, their only real chance of the game. And boy, would have that been frustrating if we did concede that and ended up drawing the game. I think maybe we'd have had a bit of a different perspective on some of the players' performances if that happens. But luckily, we did keep the clean sheet. Maybe some other chances. I do think that basically, what I mean by this is basically in the second half, there was a few times where we would counter Tottenham with some great runs from Pulisic and Kovacic. I remember those two moments very well. And whilst they were great runs, both of them did make poor decisions when offloading the ball into the penalty area. Both of them should have gone to the right, really, where I believe Reece James was there for Pulisic, and I believe Pulisic might have been there for Kovacic, and neither of them picked the right pass. Obviously, with Kovacic, he does seem to panic a bit when he gets into the box. He doesn't really seem to know what to do. Would have maybe expected a bit better from Pulisic, but he hasn't been in the best form, although he did make some good runs when he came on in the second half and did do well. It's crazy the depth that we've got at the moment, guys. You looked at our bench and you could argue that it would rival our starting 11 in an actual game. It was absolutely crazy. It would have been interesting to see who we would have seen if Christensen didn't have to come on, but obviously he did. Thiago Silva maybe going to miss the next few games. Hopefully his injury isn't too serious, because I do know that over the next couple of weeks we look alright fixture-wise, but after that I believe if we beat Barnsley we could have Manchester United and Liverpool in the same week, because you definitely want Thiago Silva back for those fixtures. But overall, guys, the game was fairly comfortable. Maybe just got a bit nervy when it was still 1-0 by the end of the game. But we won. We beat Mourinho. Tuchel doing well, showing that he is not an ultimate Spurs fan, showing that, guys, honestly, I believe it's crazy how Tuchel has said multiple times that he just knew Tottenham were a club when he was younger and used to say it to show off, and they all still, the commentators, the media are all still saying lifelong Tottenham fan Thomas Tuchel. I mean, really, they will do anything to push an agenda, but it doesn't matter. We got the 3 points, and that is all that mattered, and everyone was at least pretty good. I wouldn't say anyone had a bad performance in this game, and which was very nice to see the energy levels of the team, and hopefully we can carry that on to maybe get a bit more confident in front of goal and actually can maybe see some scorelines where we're scoring maybe 3+ goals again, like we were in that unbeaten run under Lampard, where we can get in a little bit of form as well. But that is my overview of the game, guys. Do let me know what you guys thought in the comments below as I get onto my player ratings. As you guys know, the base rating for an average performance is pretty much a 6, and because we kept the clean sheet, I'm going to give the defenders a bit higher than that. Mendy, I'm going to give a 7. Now, maybe that's a little bit harsh. It was a clean sheet against Spurs, but he really only had one save to make. This was a pretty standard save from outside the box. To be fair, when he did make that save, part of me did think, if Kepa was there, that probably would have gone in. So we've got to give Mendy some credit, but that was all he really had to do. He did offload the ball quite well and make some decent passes, but wasn't really tested. Kept the clean sheet, so I'm going to give him a 7. Going into the back three, going to give Rudiger and Azpilicueta both 7.5s. I thought they were both solid. Rudiger winning aerials, Azpilicueta winning his duels. I thought both were very good, putting well performances. Azpi obviously captaining the side to the clean sheet, so they're both getting a 7.5 rating. Now, controversially, I am actually going to give Thiago Silva an 8 out of 10 now. Maybe that's a bit controversial because he did come off in the first half, but I just thought for the minutes he was on, I thought he was crucial. He was basically turning players with ease that were pressing him. He was just getting the ball into space, very calm, composed, made some interceptions, blocked 1 or 2 shots. I thought he just had a very professional, composed performance, and I thought that he was honestly amazing when I watched him. And maybe this is me making up as well for maybe not giving him some of the credit maybe a few weeks ago for some games as well. He's just been immense so far, and he is definitely key to this team. Obviously, captaining PSG under Tuchel. He's now captaining Chelsea under Tuchel as well, so that is very nice to see. Obviously, he did have to come off, though. But I just have to give him an 8 for his performance. I thought he was great, and the fact that we did keep the clean sheet in the end just shows how good I think he was. Going into the 2 wing-backs, going to give Alonso a 7.5. did well. He surprised me. I think he defended a lot better than I thought he would. I do think in the first half, our left side was definitely a bit weaker than the right side. I thought that we could have maybe used someone in his position to run in behind a bit more, because when he'd get the ball, you knew he couldn't really get past the player. He sort of had to just pass it and be safe, which he didn't cost us anything, to be fair to him, he did this job. But I was looking for maybe a little bit more attacking. Maybe Chilwell would have been better in this game to get him behind a bit more, but it still wasn't a bad performance. So 7.5 for Alonso, fair enough from him. He actually did go for a bit of an audacious volley as well, which we all know he's going to do every single game. Reece James, now, he had a pretty standard performance in the first half, I'd say. He linked up well with Hudson-Odoi, put some decent crosses into the box, some dangerous ones. But it was really the second half that I thought that he picked up his game and winning duels, bullying off players, making some great runs. Counter-attacks, he was stopping those as well, getting back. I thought that it was definitely the right choice from Tuchel to start him in that right wing-back role, and he could definitely help soak up some of that Spurs attack when they did get a little bit better in the second half. So I think Reece James definitely improved a lot from half to half, and hopefully we'll see a bit more of him as well as when the weeks go on. Midfield's going to give Kovacic an 8, going to give Jorginho an 8.5. The difference really in both of their performances being the goal. Jorginho obviously getting the match-winning goal, the penalty, taking a bit of a different approach. Will be interesting to see if we see that approach going forward with more penalties. I'm not too sure, but definitely caught Lloris off guard, which is probably the reason why he actually scored it. But Kovacic I thought was again one of his better performances. Maybe not as good as the Burnley performance, but very close. With him, obviously, it's probably going to get some getting used to. His forward passes didn't always make it. His through balls weren't always great. Like I said, a very frustrating bit of play when he dribbles pretty much, a very far distance, only to offload it to the wrong man. I thought that was a bit frustrating. You know that you're not going to get attacking greatness from Kovacic, but maybe just a few more simple decisions being made correctly could have meant he got a bit of a higher mark. Still though, an 8 is absolutely great. I thought he defended well, got out of space well, made some good runs, and there was one really nice pass in the first half he made of his left foot, I believe, out to the wing, which was just, I even reacted to. I was like, oh, that was a great pass, honestly, by him. And obviously, I've been one of his biggest critics, and so far he's performing well. We'll see if he can keep that up. Obviously, I'm not just going to go by a few games. We'll see by, I don't know, game week, what game week is this? Game week 22, maybe by the late 20s, maybe by game week 30, we'll see how the team is actually performing as a unit, and we'll be able to, see who's just playing well because of the new manager bounce and who's actually consistently having some good form. Jorginho, like I said, got the goal, really controlling play well, getting the tackles, getting interceptions, and I thought that he had a very calm, composed performance, trying to create some stuff as well, definitely getting a bit more creative with these new Tuchel tactics, but I think he filled in well, went deep when he needed to. A very calm and well done performance by him. Mason Mount's also going to get an 8.5, was just everywhere, was pretty much free in the entire game, whether that was because of Tottenham's tactics or him just pulling off of players. Needs to get his shooting boots on a bit, maybe missed 1 or 2 shots against Burnley, his shooting wasn't the best, but he was creating chances. I believe he was first for key passes, he was first for passes in the opposition half, and he was first for something else. Making tackles, running the ball up high. We can all see why he's a manager's dream, not just Lampard playing Mason Mount all the time, but Southgate and now Tuchel. Really just shows what a quality player he is, getting all these minutes under these different managers. And just a great example from him today of why he's quality, and maybe a bit of redemption for that performance that he had in the Cup against Spurs, where he didn't have his best game against them. So just thought of that now actually, and a great run from him. Lastly, the two forwards, I guess wingers, kind of strikers. I don't know, because it was sort of a 1-2 sort of attacking setup. I'm going to give them both a 7 out of 10. Werner obviously won the penalty. He looked a lot more lively and a lot more confident. He actually created some decent chances, to be fair. They just couldn't be put away. It wasn't really our day shooting-wise. Luckily, we did get the penalty. Obviously, a lot of shots were blocked, which, to be fair, you could cater to Tottenham's defence, but you could also say it was decent attacking, or maybe a poor finishing by us. But they're both going to get a 7. Hudson-Odoi was great before he came off, making a lot of runs. His defensive work was amazing. And you've got to give some credit to Lampard for that, for instilling that pressing mentality into him. But he's really just picked up his defensive game and made some great runs, some good passes as well. And unlucky, like I said, that none of the attackers did get a goal or an assist. Going to the bench quickly, Christensen kept the clean sheet, did decently, I thought, gets a 7 out of 10 for me. I'm one of his biggest critics. He did well in this game coming in for Thiago Silva. Pulisic getting a 6.5, thought he was decent, made some good runs, maybe a poor decision here or there, but I think he kept up the energy well, so I'm going to give him a 6.5. Kante didn't really have many minutes. I think he was just, giving him some minutes, and, he had the defensive capabilities to maybe keep Tottenham at bay a bit more. Is getting a 6 out of 10. Maybe just needs to pick up some more match sharpness, as obviously he's been injured. So yeah, those are going to be my ratings, guys. Let me know yours in the comments below. Getting into the player of the season point scoring system, I am going to give players up to those 3 points because I think they deserve them. First off, going to give 1 point to Reece James and Thiago Silva. Like I said, maybe controversial, Silva gets one, but I just thought he was great for the minutes he was on the pitch. Reece James picked up his game in the second half. They're both going to get 1 point. 2 points now are going to go to 2 players as well. Those are Mason Mount and Mateo Kovacic. Now, I know I rated Mount 0.5 higher, but I just thought one player should get the 3 points. I don't really want to give more than one player 3 points for a game, so I thought he should get 2. Kovacic, I think, even though he got the same rating as James and Silva, I think I just noticed him a bit more, maybe because of the contrast to his performances, before Lampard's went. I think he's really picked up his game, and maybe he would have got an even higher rating with maybe 1 or 2 better decisions in the attacking phase. They're both going to get a 2 out of 10, meaning the 3 points are going to go to Jorginho. I know Mount got the man of the match from the Chelsea fans and from BT, I believe it was, but Jorginho did get the decisive goal. He did do his role well, and it was a very professional performance. If Mount got a goal and an assist, he probably would have got 3 points, but yeah, I just think that we can't, Mount was maybe great on the eye, but I think we can't, take away the importance of what Jorginho did on the pitch, to be fair to him. So as you guys can see how those points are tallying up, plenty of the season still to go. Some new players though maybe on the scoreboard getting some points with the new managerial appointment. We will see if that does last. But like I said, guys, if you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment down below and subscribe for more Chelsea FC content. My preview for the Sheffield United game will be out before it does commence, so do stay tuned for that. I hope you all have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.